Hey, it's Andre. It's time for a Friday flying update. Tonight, we're talking about FPV kit, multi-rotors, and a 4K camera to open. What else could you ask for? Yeah, so first on the bench tonight to open up is this bad boy from gearbest.com, the EKEN H8R. Yeah, I got that right finally, H8R. Boy, some of these names are interesting, but this is the first look, and I've been wanting to open this box for a couple of weeks now, and a 4K camera, so I really should just clear the bench off and go at it. But so basically, it looks like it's your pretty standard setup as far as a GoPro style in that, more vertical style camera. And actually, that's really, ooh, look at that. Check the back end on that guy. Wow, that's actually got a really nice display. So this thing will do 4K, it will do 2.7K. So 4K at 30 frames a second, 2.7K at 30 frames a second, and 1080 at 60 and 30. That's not bad. 170 degree frame of view, and it does have a Wi-Fi connection. Takes your standard micro SD card and everything, and comes with a little remote. So far, wow, I like the case and I like that wide lens. So let's see, it's Andre proof already. So look at that. That is nice. That is actually really nice. I'm liking the size of that back end of that display. That is actually a pretty slick looking camera. I don't know if the battery's in it, but we'll fire it up and see what she says. Action cam, no SD card. Look at that. Already fired up and comes to life. Hey, how you doing? I'm in 4K. So that's pretty cool. I'm gonna definitely be playing around with this one, and we'll go through all those modes. And I'm really curious about the 4K and the 2.7K. I think I'm gonna be buying a bigger SD card, as I mentioned earlier. So let's take a quick dive. So nice case with an extra wide lens, which is awesome. You got your looks like your vented back plate. I like these, so you get a little extra sound. I know they're also designed to put the clip through and everything, but I like running these because you get the sound. I was really disappointed to learn that the Phantom camera doesn't actually have any audio, and I don't care if it's even buzzing noise. I just want that audio presence. So, strap. Oh, there's the little remote. This is going to be neat. It's even ready to go and everything. So, I turn you on. Look at that. Got a little chime when it turns on. I don't have a card in there, but I'm wondering if it will react or anything like that. I probably have to sync this guy. Oh, something just happened. Come on, do something. We'll see. I suspect I have to sync in the remote and stuff like this, but look at that. That's something that I think all these cameras should come with, unless you do the app thing, which I really liked on the Run Cam. That was actually very handy to have the app to check the view and everything. But again, big, beautiful display, remote, and then of course all the other accessories we've come to expect with these cameras. Wow, look at that. There's a little clip belt system. So the strap most likely is for the remote, but little clamp on. So you can do a body clamp, your other gear, European plug, that's fine. I use USB for everything I do anyhow. Other tripod fittings, and these I love. I absolutely think every camera should come with this. This is the open one, and most of the time, when you're not running, depending on what rig I'm running on, these guns are great because you can stack a microphone on top of it and really get some good audio. So I will be going through and doing all the audio. There's a nice all the straps, USB plugs, some zip ties, some manuals, some clips. That is awesome. can't wait to get this thing out and flying. In fact, I know what it's going to fly on first, and that will be the Tricopter's new, younger, slicker, carbon fiber infused brother, sister, whatever you want, but that's what that thing is going to be used for. So this is my old one, and on the bench is the new one, and that's what's going to be built up this evening. So I'm going to put this stuff aside for now. I can't wait. I'm really excited actually about seeing the 2.7 and even more so the 4K. I know it's going to consume so much data and bandwidth on the cards and in the drives and everything, but I really am looking forward to getting in there and really seeing what this the resolution's like. I'm going to run that up against the C10 and the Turnigy as well, so really looking forward to that. Again, thanks to your best. We'll have some fun with this thing for sure. Okay, now I did allude to the fact that tonight my main goal and mission is to build, from David, the new Tricopter version 3.5. Carbon fiber booms. So sweet. So this will be a 4S setup, and it will be a very serious monster for me, I do believe. So I've got everything ready to go. Now after I'm done recording this, I'm going to crack out the soldering iron. I've got my receivers all set to go, and all the other gear and bits and pieces that I need to fire this thing up. And I'm just going to get busy working on it and building it. So looking forward to that one. That should be really exciting. I'll have to, dial up Dave's video on YouTube and go at it. So again, here's the old one, which still flies, well, not too bad for what it was in the time and how much, heat and damage I put through those poor motors. But the new one, oh, it's just going to be so slick and so powerful. Again, 4S setup, spinning some HQ 8x5 props. So I'm going to have to actually source some more of these very soon, because I know I'm going to go through them pretty quickly. All the other goods and bits and everything. So yesterday I was out flying, and I actually very successfully flew with this guy even over the past weekend. This is the Quantum Elite little micro thing, and the resolution of this little camera is hilariously good. The green and everything was fantastic, and I had a really good time flying it on my 2S Aero of all things, which was perfectly lightweight. The only issue I ran into is I'm running a DSM-2 receiver in that thing, and I basically ranged out and just plunked over, picked up the Aero, and popped a couple of glue joints and put it all back together the next day and was flying again. So this little guy, again from Hobby King, is phenomenally cool. Really nice resolution. Tiny, but the colors and everything was really good. And then last night also, I was flying this project. So this is the ZMRM frame that Marco sent me. And of course this has all my old equipment on it. And the only difference is I'm running that Flip 32 board. And wow, what a difference, what a different beast this thing has become. So B-Heli firmware on the ESCs. Those are my little 12 amp Afros. And I was like just blipping out and having fun. I do have to finish the whole thing off. I haven't even got all the screws in. The flight controller is only like half bolted down, and I haven't done any firmware set. And just having a good time bopping it up and down and blipping it all over the place, and just really impressed. So I gotta get the FPV gear in there, finish bolting it all together, do some tweaking and tuning, because I haven't done any of that. But this thing is pretty impressive. I was running it on 3S, my 3S 1300s, which I don't think I have enough of to cover off all the crafts I'm now using that battery on. So that was fun. From Surveil Zone, some DL props, 3-bladed. They'll probably be going on this guy and a couple other little projects if I kick some other stuff up to 4S, but should be interesting. Everybody says these are great for just banging around and cruise flying over the older style blunt nose, so I'll try it and find out for myself. I was already, like I said, impressed, so if it goes even better, wow. A few pieces of kit actually came in tonight from a Banggood order. The first one is another one of those little mini 32 channel FPV receivers. And what I want to do with this guy, I was saying in one of my videos, I think, that I was running into issues where the bandwidths, or like the bands, were just so full, especially the Fat Shark 8. We do a pretty good job with my group of flyers where we try and allot channels, and I'm right in the middle of the Fat Shark band, so I'm bookended by a couple of good friends who fly a lot as well, and so it's like, So I said, okay, fine, I'm going to pick another channel out of the mix. And what I'm going to do with this guy now is I'm going to set it up and wire it into my old teleporters. And I'll just stick the receiver on top. I think, it's over here. you know, and just sit to my channels, and then I can flip between the internal receiver and the external receiver, and then get those extra channels that I desire. So I'm really think this is probably like the best way to spend 23 bucks and upgrade these goggles. That means the other ones are still good, and if I ever upgrade to another set of goggles down the road, like another set of Fat Sharks with a modern 40-channel receiver in it or something, I still have these that are perfectly good to fly with. You know, yeah, they're lower resolution, but you know what? For the amount of FPV I do, I felt this was a really good solution. So I'll get in there, shrink wrap that stuff up, and if I can do the wiring just right, we'll come off. I'll branch some power off the balance splitter and run it in really cleanly. Maybe I'll get bold and I'll cut into it and, you know, go directly into it. So all I have to do is hit the switch between the internal transmitter, or sorry, internal receiver, and then the video switch. So we'll see. Tons of options. Really impressed with this guy. I was using this on my other my DIY setup. So it's small, it's compact. Yeah, it's only you know, it's only one antenna, no diversity, but c'est la vie. Speaking of diversity, I am slowly working away on the project with from Marco's tracking station, the Ghetto tracking station. A bunch of components have been ordered. I've been talking to my dad. He's going to help me do some soldering because my soldering iron is like, you know, using like a big wide torch. It's just, it's not refined enough to do anything yet. That is a future purchase for me, actually. A nice high-end proper soldering iron that I'll use for a long time to come. Speaking of things from Banggood, another FR Sky receiver has come in, and I'm going to use this one to, this is actually going to, I'm going to replace the 316 with S-Bus that's sitting inside the Radiant. This is going to go in the Radiant, so I'll still have Vario data coming off the telemetry, and that one will be used on David's Tricopter because I can S-Bus right into the quad, right on the board, and it'll go. So I was running into an issue where I ran out of these receivers, the FR Sky stuff, and Gary from GreatHobbies contacted me and said, come down to the store, pick up one of these guys, make sure I put it into a flight test plane. Well, it's definitely going into the flight test plane. One of my next builds, and I want to get done before FliteFest, is the FT-Explorer, which I want to rig up with lights and everything. So it's ready to go. So thank you, Gary. Definitely going to be used. Again, if you're looking for any flight test stuff or some of the FR Sky stuff and you're in Canada, check out GreatHobbies. You know, once you start factoring and shipping and everything, these guys are probably on the mark for the money and value of those products. So last weekend, my buddy David came down from Toronto, and we flew up a storm between Thursday and Saturday. I was so exhausted by the end of the weekend. It was just mind-numbing how much flying and how much fun we had. We were actually rushing to try and recharge packs, you know, late at night, and you know, instead of going to sleep like, you know, logical people would do. But I have to say, a couple of my airplanes really were fun to fly. David got to see the EFX Racer bomb through the air for the first time, and it was just so nice. I had mentioned that I had gotten that aircraft back together and running, and it did so well. We flew the Radiants, we flew the Arrows, we flew a bunch of other flight test airplanes. And then I finally got to do something I've been dying to do, and that was to put the Pawnee up late at night. It was about 8:30, 8:45, and the thing was stunning in the air. I'm really impressed. I know this airplane and I had a really tumultuous beginning, but it has now become one of my stable mates, and just it is one of my prime go-to planes at this point, and I'm really enjoying it. Higher C batteries in this thing are great. I'm probably going to end up changing out that prop and setup and maybe jump up the ESC down the road. But the difference between running the 25Cs and the 65C 3S 2200s is night and day in this aircraft. It's more responsive. It does what I need to do, and I can punch the power up. But at night, the thing was phenomenal. The chambering they've done in the wings, it doesn't look like a big white ball like everybody had told me it might look. And all I really want on that thing to make it complete is a little beacon light on top of the tail. So really looking forward to just getting that thing out and doing it again even later at night. It will probably be with me this summer when I go to FliteFest in Ohio in July. The other airplane that was an absolute standout champ this weekend had to be my Hobby King Durafly Tundra. That thing was rock solid all weekend long. It just flew it because it could go anywhere we had to go in any field we had to fly, deal with the winds, and it was just awesome and fun to do. I really got to start pushing myself more as a 3D pilot with it and really start, you know, flying upside down more and everything, but that'll all come in time. So there you go. What else could you want out of a Friday evening for me, right? Builds, FPV stuff, and all kinds of craziness and projects. So it's going to be a massive, crazy couple of weeks coming up. There's an Ohio trip where I'll be going down to talk with FliteFest and discussing how we're designing and working on FliteFest. For those who don't know, I'm the volunteer coordinator or manager this year, so I'll be crewing a large number of volunteers. We're hoping for like 100 plus, 120, pardon me. So if you're going to Ohio this summer to do a FliteFest and you can spare, 4 hours out of your 4-day weekend, sign up to be a volunteer. You get an orange shirt. I get to shake your hand after all weekend long and talk to you. So there we go. I'm done talking. I'm going to get building. If you get to go flying, because I don't this weekend because of the weather, have fun, be safe, see you out there. Thanks.